I want to read from you, read to you, not from you, read to you a couple of awakening stories. This is from a book called Living Buddha Zen. It's a translation of a Zen text called the Denkoroku, which means the transmission of the light. And it's understood that the transmission of awakeness, of mutually recognized awakeness from master to student, has taken place starting from the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, all the way to the present day. And so they're the first, I think, 50 of these or 52 of these stories, starting from the Buddha, are recorded in the Denkoroku. In the process I'm in of Zen Dharma transmission, one of the I have to work through a number of koans as part of that process, about 500 or 600 koans, and among them are the Denkoroku. So I've worked with each of these as a koan in itself as part of that process. And I think these are really wonderful to communicate this awakening experience and the fact that this is outside time. So this is immediate, it's always now, it's always happening. There's no past or future. So this first one is Shakyamuni Buddha's awakening story. From beneath the Bodhi tree before dawn, Shakyamuni perceives the morning star directly and awakens beyond all awakening, exclaiming, I, the broad earth, and all conscious beings are enlightened, and effortlessly manifest the great way together. So that's really a powerful statement. He perceives the morning star directly. So that means pure awareness. He's having a non-conceptual experience. And what that would mean is that his sense of self and the star are dropped. There's a non-duality, a unity. He and the star are the same. That's what his experience is. We're an undivided oneness, and the oneness has no self. That's the realization, and awakens beyond all awakening. This is something that isn't talked about a lot in the awakening literature, but whenever we have Kensho experiences, awakening experiences, the attachment to the awakening experience must also be dropped. So we have this great revelation, this great seeing, knowing, and we understand how the universe actually is. And we have to drop that too, because that becomes a concept, that becomes an idea. So we have to stay with the direct experience and not hold on to any concept of the experience. And the Buddha exclaims, I, the broad earth, and all conscious beings. So again, the unity, the indivisibility, I, the broad earth, and all conscious beings are the same. We are enlightened and effortlessly manifest the great way together. Now this is really important. He says all these beings are enlightened. He doesn't say they will be enlightened. They may be enlightened. They are enlightened. So that tells us that we already have this awake nature, what in Zen they call the Buddha nature, the nature to be a full Buddha. It's already embedded in our consciousness. It must be here because it can't come from the outside. We don't get it. We reveal it. It's revealed. So this is really a powerful statement, powerful koan. And then I want to read one more, which is the second transmission story. This is where the Buddha recognized one of his disciples, Mahakashyapa, if I'm saying that right, Mahakashyapa. Anyway, recognized him as the next living Buddha. and passed teaching authority of the Sangha to him. So when the Buddha died, he took over as the lead teacher. So here's the koan. When Shakyamuni raises a wildflower, his destined successor smiles. The living Buddha responds to his intimate companion with the great intensity of transmission. I am wonderful mind. I am nirvana. I am the inexhaustible treasure house, the eye of non-duality. Now this light is manifest as you, as Mahakashyapa. So he's not only recognizing the mind, wonderful mind, nirvana, inexhaustible treasure house, the eye of non-duality. All of that is the recognition of the Buddha. And he's saying that this light is now lit in Mahakashyapa. So at that point, there's a recognition of oneness. I was reading recently a book written by one of the teachers in the Zen lineage I'm in, Peter Matheson. Excuse me. And he was writing about a trip to Japan he did with his teacher, Glassman Roshi. Glassman Roshi is also my teacher's teacher, so he's like a grandfather teacher to me. And he talked about the Zen Dharma transmission and said that one of the visuals for it is there's a dot, and around this dot is a small circle. And the dot is the teacher, the master, and the circle is the student. And in the course of working together over the years of transmission together, the circle gets smaller and smaller until at one point there is just a dot. There is just one dot. And that's when transmission is complete. So a very great visual for this, but this is what happened in this story. The Buddha's disciple, he had the realization that the Buddha had. The Buddha could feel, could recognize it in the other as one. And then this is where that circle got smaller and smaller, and there was one.